We're finally able to get hold of Nick Paris, I think, because we're going to talk to him about the opening of the Lumiere, the new cinema at the Arts Centre. Hopefully this is ringing out now. Here we go. Just while that's ringing out, if anybody wants to call us later on, 027 257 9672. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening.
Oh, great. We've got you on the line at last. That's really good. It's
been a while, Nick.
It has. We used to talk about film, didn't we, when I was doing the morning show on Plains FM, and you'd come in every week and review some titles. In fact, before we get into the Lumiere, the opening of it, I'm wondering if you might actually preview on a regular basis what is going to be happening at your cinema.
Well, I'd love to. I mean, the story is an old one, and I can only write a few chapters penciled in, but I mean, it was started by Lang Masters in 1977, the Academy, and it was one of New Zealand's finest art house cinemas. So I'm humbled to be curating and honouring that lineage by continuing it much in the same fashion as he did, by showing lots of little mini festivals, lots of foreign film titles, and lots of film festival titles year-round.
You must be beyond excited at the moment, because I've been watching the progress on Facebook with the fitting out of your cinema. How long ago did you know that you got that site and the Lumiere was really going to happen?
Teasingly, about 12 months ago. So it's been a long process since I got the go-ahead and the announcement that I was a successful tender. So it's been a long, long process. But, you know, we're talking about the Arts Centre, and we're talking about some pretty delicate fabric. So the whole process took a long time, and I'm just delighted to be in that location, which is, you know, second to none. Oh, my God. My window looks out on the Peacock Fountain, for God's sake. I mean, it's so meditational. It's not funny.
Tell us about, you're in partnership with Max Hoffman. Tell us a bit about that partnership and how you came together and how you've ended up working together with opening this theatre.
Yeah, by pure chance, really. Max and his partner, Sebastian, were interested in getting into the business, and they were sort of fossicking around, and I came into contact with them over a certain business that was up for sale, and the offer wasn't accepted. And then a few months later, I came across the idea about the Art Centre, and then I contacted them knowing that I was a bit short on cash, and you know, I couldn't do it on my own. So we had a little meeting at the Lemon Tree Cafe in Sinatra Street, and it sort of grew from there, really. He's a Hollywood script writer. I'm, you know, on the other side of the fence in terms of world cinema or global cinema, and it's a perfect marriage going forward.
So you're going to be curating rather, like an ongoing film festival there, really, aren't you?
Well, I was a little bit pissed off. I mean, way back in 1963, Lang Masters was refused by the court to run an art house cinema in the middle of the square, being the old Plaza Theatre, which is the old Strand, and the judge sort of decreed Christchurch, being an Anglo-conservative city, was not ready for the nature of foreign film and art house cinema. Oh, right. So I'm throwing that back at that decision, and you know, wanting to preserve that into the near and medium future.
So, is this going to be a full-time job for you, the cinema?
Yes, it is. It is. So, you know, along with the film festival, this is, I guess, you get one chance in life to sort of go for it. You know, and this is the one. And you know, if I fail, Nick, and if I succeed, it doesn't really matter. I'm very much in the moment with this one. At least I've tried. I'm going to give it my best shot. I was there 40 years ago at the Art Centre as a projectionist, and I feel very much at home being back there, albeit in a more progressive mode, sort of scheduling what hopefully will be, you know, an eclectic and exciting lineup.
Now, you're in a repurposed environment, because it used to be lecture theatres, didn't it?
Yeah, lecture theatres, and then the arts lecture block, and then the Peter Feldenberg, I think, ran it as the free theatre. So the bones of the venue speak volumes to me. So I'm very much honouring the idea of entertainment, whether it be live, film, or music. I think it's the lineage. I keep saying that word is going to be continued thanks to this good work.
What's happened in the space that used to be the Academy Cinema?
Well, I think I was last there about 6 months ago, the opening of the media launch of the Buskers Festival. So I think it's more or less a hospo space available for hire, and what a wonderful space it is too. They've stripped it back to its bare bones, and it looks absolutely amazing. It feels good, and I think going forward they've got a real diamond in the rough there.
So they've taken all the theatre seating out?
Yeah. So it's back into almost the gymnasium setup, back to you can even see the lines where the courts were. And of course the old Remu flooring, it's very much in naked state, but I'm delighted to see it in that way. And, the art centre's half finished, and I think by the end of the 360-degree turn, boy, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Now, the Lumiere, is it one cinema, or is there more than one cinema there?
Yeah, there's two. So the free theatre was split into two, so an up and a downstairs cinema. One holds about 70 and the other one about 45. And I've snuck in a little bar overlooking the Peacock Fountain just to sort of have those pre and after sort of film conversations we all love to have, whether you liked it or not.
and there's a couple of hospo areas as well, isn't there? Different names that they've got for them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cinemas there, Sarah Bernhardt, the French actress, and of course Brigitte Bardot, who is made famous for her wonderful film called Contempt with Jean-Luc Godard, which I thought she was absolutely fantastic. And so throwback to French actresses of stage and screen.
Is the big opening this weekend?
I don't have the appetite for a big opening, so there's going to be a little private opening on Thursday in the Great Hall, just for sort of a few guests and so forth. I just want to get going and have a soft opening, and I don't know. I just feel after recent events, the idea of red carpet and spotlights is not really my thing, and I'm just happy to launch it in a very tentative way. Tentative but tactile.
After Dark, we thoroughly understand that, Nick, because we're doing exactly the same thing. There's quite a lot behind making all of this work and be reasonably seamless, so we're kind of like not too much publicity at this stage and just waiting until we get the ducks in a row, as it were.
You've read my mind.
Hey, Nick, great. We've tried about 3 times to get you tonight, but I'm so glad we eventually did.
Thanks, Nick.
And I'll be in touch with maybe a little further down the track if you can do previews for us of what's coming up at the cinema as a regular feature. That'd be really good.
Good night, and to you, Friday, as well.
Cheers. Thank you very much, Nick. Good evening.
Bye now.